Hello. What you're seeing here now is the closed beta gameplay for the Resident Evil spin-off, Project Resistance. Now, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I absolutely adore the series. It's my favourite video game series, bar none, hands down, without question. So it's a bit difficult for me to try not to be biased in some way, but I think whether or not we like a game or we don't like a game, on some level we're always a bit biased, but I think we'd like to be impartial as much as we can. So with that out of the way, I'd like to give my impressions on the Project Resistance beta. To be honest, I'm not that entirely impressed, but then when it is announced, I wasn't that keen anyway. I think it's fair to say that probably most of us had really hoped that we're either going to get a Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake, which would have been awesome, or even a Resident Evil 8. But instead, at the Tokyo Game Show, after all the teasers, we got this spin-off, Project Resistance. And in all fairness, it's not Umbrella Corps bad. I mean, that game was absolutely atrocious. That was bad and broken. But this, I can see what they're trying to achieve. I mean, it looks okay. It's done on the RE engine, which powered Resident Evil 7 and the awesome Resident Evil 2 remake. But as you're probably going to get with a lot of co-op games, even if they're horror themed, because they're multiplayer, they nowhere near have a kind of the tension that you'd expect from a survival horror game. That said, I can see what this game's trying to achieve, and in a nutshell, you either play as the survivors, 4 human characters, which is what you're seeing here, or you can play as the Mastermind, and we'll get to see some of that gameplay later. As the survivors, you have I think a character I'm playing as now. This dude, he's more of an all-rounder. He starts off a melee weapon and whatnot. Then you've got the female character in the yellow hoodie. She's a medic. You've got the other female character with short blonde hair. She's a hacker type. And this frat boy dude to the right of me, I think he's like a melee combat character. So you've all got to work as a team, and I've played about 3 or 4 games now as the survivor. As of yet, I've not made it to the end of all the arenas. Basically, what you've got to do, you've got to work together as a team, get from A to B, and I think 3 or 4 arenas to win the game, and a mastermind will plot traps, enemies, and various obstacles in your way to try and ensure that you don't make it. So you can see this green zone here now. This is the Arena 1 done with, and we now move into Arena 2. And you can see those boxes there. Basically, you're going to start off with what's called umbrella credits, and you can find more credits as you go through each map, and then you can go to these boxes and you can buy a firearm, a new melee weapon, ammo, herbs, grenades, all that kind of thing. Which, if you got some credits left over, I certainly advise spending your credits as much as you can, because the last thing you want to do is run out of ammo or herbs, health potions. But what I found with this game in particular, I know it's a beta, so it all can change when the full game releases, is it seems at this current state it's very, very unbalanced. Yes, as the survivors you get 4 characters, but the problem you get with a beta, unless you're lucky enough to have a friend or two who's going to play the game with you, you've got to really strike it lucky to get some randoms that work together as a team, because otherwise it's going to be so difficult winning the game. And a couple of games that I played before this, obviously with other randoms, we all died. One of them we definitely didn't make it at the first arena. and we failed miserably. Now, when a mastermind places any enemies, they're not too bad. I mean, obviously you got your zombies, you got your lickers and whatnot. But then at a certain point in the game, where at least once, maybe twice, depending on how far you get, the mastermind can assume control of the tyrant, Mr. X, that we saw in Resident Evil 2. Now, he, as you would expect, is an absolute tank. And we survived the first round of Mr. X battles, which I don't think he's too far away from where we are now. I mean, he literally can drop right in front of you. But if you manage to get these survivors in a narrow corridor or nowhere to go, you can win the match incredibly easy as a mastermind. And that's where I find it at this current state very unbalanced, because like I said, unless you're lucky enough to strike it lucky and get some good randoms or have a good friend or two, it's going to be so difficult winning all 4 of the arenas. And we can hear the music now, Mr. X is in, and if you know what you do, even you slightly know what you're doing in Mr. X, you can just annihilate the survivors. And I think what I do here, I throw a grenade or a stun grenade there, but my tactic was just to run away and keep it of harm's way, and I think you get about 30 seconds or so as Mr. X, so you can't stay the whole time. So certainly if you can keep out of his way, and here as he comes through, if you played in Resident Evil 2, you know when he comes through the door there's a little window where you could basically sneak underneath his armpit. I think he's gone now. Now, when we get through this door, when I go back and realise I've actually got a key card, you can actually hear the Resident Evil 3 save room music. So, when we get through that door, I'll tell you just beforehand, and I'll try and be quiet so we can hear it, because it's ever so subtle. And you don't hear it for very long. Now, because I've got my key card, in a minute I'm going to try and use that terminal so we can get through to the next area. And I think here I'll get chomped on at my first attempt. There we go. And I get poisoned as well, for good measure. You have to excuse the colour distortion at times. It's because I'm capturing it on the PS4 Pro, but I forgot to change my settings to a 1080p output, which is why sometimes it goes a bit funny, but it's just a bit watchable. I did want to maybe think about doing some more playthroughs of this one, but to be honest, and unless I find out one or two of my friends have also got a beta, I probably won't be visiting this again too much, if at all. And like I said, I love Resident Evil, but I was never overly keen at all on this. But I like to give games the benefit of the doubt, and I'm still going to give it the benefit of the doubt, because this is a beta, and hopefully when the game releases probably early next year, I'll take a guess at Marchish time, hopefully you're going to have more characters to play as both the Mastermind and the survivors. I'm assuming obviously you're going to have more maps as well, more weapons, more bits and bobs, and hopefully the game will feel a bit more balanced as well. Because at the moment I find it very much in the favour of the Mastermind. Probably more so when you get Mr. X. That's the he's the big game changer. And there we go, but the Mastermind craftily hid a licker behind that door. So as the Mastermind, you can go to like an overview map, and you can basically plan ahead by looking at the camera feeds and whatnot. So you can, if you're clever about it, you can place enemies and distractions and traps behind the door, so you can kind of plan ahead. It's definitely more fun playing as a Mastermind. Like any co-op game, it's more fun playing with friends, and that'd be certainly the case playing as the survivors, but certainly the most fun, regardless of whether you're playing on lonesome or with randoms or whatever, is definitely with Mastermind in my opinion. Excuse me. And there we go, there's a healer, healing us all with a special ability. And now, I'm going to add some time on by doing one of our objectives. I say, when we do something good, the survivors get time added on, and when the Mastermind achieves something, you get time taken off. Now, as we get through the store, I'll be quiet, try and listen out for Resi 3 save music. There we go, onto Arena 3. This is where we die in this arena. Shh. I think it plays as you go to the right of this room. I didn't notice it first time round until I watched some of my gameplay. So if you missed it, rewind it back 10 seconds or so, and you should be able to capture it just as we come into this room. And you wouldn't. It must only play in a certain area, maybe. Like I said, I didn't notice that first time doing this. Only noticed it afterwards. So hopefully, maybe that's some kind of Easter egg and some kind of tease. I mean, it makes sense for Capcom to do Resident Evil 3 remake, you know. Well, imagine. Oh yeah, we're gonna die in a minute. I absolutely panic here. I don't know what to do. Panic in my inventory. I don't know where to run. Where am I gonna go? I could have maybe run through that door. I don't know, but. Yeah, I'm done for. Head pop. There we go. We get time taken off a server as well. You do go into, when you die, depending on how much time you accumulate, you go into overtime, but because we're -9, so sometimes if you're lucky you might have a minute to try and claw things back. But insta death for us on that one. But I think, considering we only got to Arena B, we did okay in that one. Lasted just shy of 12.5 minutes. And we got a B, so B ain't the worst.
I have many fun adventures lined up for you.
And now we'll get to play as a Mastermind, so.
Destruction, disease,
Okay.
all of the fun things.
Wait for Daniel to stop talking. Yeah, so basically how this will work now. I'm looking through the camera feed, and we've got the cards there in the middle of the screen. Kind of reminds me very much of a board game. You pick your power cards. There we go. There's a map, and this Mastermind talks a lot, repeats a lot of the same words. But yeah, you get this map, and you basically select the cameras. You can see the rooms where the survivors are now. So they've already gone through that door, and I can place a zombie or two here so I can still follow him into the next room. And he's talking again. But now I can go into this room here, try and capture them before they come in. I'm going to place a trap just here as well.
If that were something you needed, do you think I would tell you?
He says that a lot. And there's the Cerberus dog. So here we go. I can click on the camera there. Let's try and place a licker. There we go. There's a zombie waiting from around the corner.
Oui, that could be a key.
Yeah, he just Mastermind talks a lot.
If that were something you needed, do you think I would tell you?
He's done this that many times already before, and we've only been doing this mode for about 2 minutes. And there I've used a turret on the camera attachment. You can use that for a short time, but as long as you're more accurate than what I was then, you can do a lot of damage. And they're about to pass through to the next arena now. Have it.
Still alive? Mostly? We?
Yeah, I'm shooting at there, but which I didn't realise at the time. That power up can make your zombies that a bit more powerful. So I completely wasted that one. So I've got it through there already. And obviously as the Mastermind as well, you can also take control of some of the zombies at certain points as well, which is quite cool. I think I only do it once in here, because I just like the idea of... There we go. I use that power up better now, so I've made that zombie a bit more powerful. Yeah, so I only take control of one zombie, other than Mr. X as well. But yeah, this whole setup as a Mastermind does remind me a lot of a board game. And there you go, the hackers just blocked my camera. So I've got to switch to another one now and try and plant ahead. And this Poisonator, this Mastermind needs to shut up. Jesus Christ.
This one I call the dripster. Dripping off it.
It's like when you try to have a conversation with someone and you get that one person in the room with you just constantly talking over you. So this is an isolated room now, so if I can plant some traps and some zombies and that in the right place, this can work in my favour. I certainly think the best way to try and... It's like I talk again and he talks.
Take a security card and you can go and see what I have prepared for you next.
Shut up. Yeah, the key I think as a Mastermind is certainly trying to plan ahead as best as you can. And seriously, God, he does my head in. So we've got a survivor in there now. Let's give him a zombie.
Interesting. Ineffective in the long run.
And I think the problem with these kind of games as well, I mean, let's give it a benefit of the doubt. Let's assume at launch it does get some decent online player numbers. My fear is for this game, it might be okay for the first weekend, maybe for the next week, maybe push 2 weeks. But unless the game turns out to be very good and Capcom do something very clever to keep players engaged, once those player numbers start to dwindle down, the game is going to slowly die a painful death. And here we are on Mr. X now. It's going to be a lot of fun, and now you can absolutely obliterate them. Which I think no, I don't do that straight away now. I do a lot of damage. The game doesn't end yet, so I still got to take over a zombie. There you go, glitch through a door. And it'd be interesting to see come the full game whether or not we'll get to play as a nemesis. Or maybe another tyrant from Resident Evil 1. Naked tyrant with his big claw. That could be fun. They're definitely going to have to do that, because once player numbers start to fall down, that's my major concern. Other than the quality, but they've got to keep those player numbers up. And that's always hard to tell really whether or not it's going to be the case just by playing the beta.
But then I never did.
There we go, my time's up as a tyrant, so you get about a minute. And so during that minute, you can as good as win the game. Doing a bit of damage there with my turret gun on the camera.
More fun and cool friends for you.
I think in a minute I'll take control of a zombie, which is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's more fun playing as a mastermind than the survivors, what I've experienced so far. But obviously that can change, as I said before, if you can get a friend or two to play this game with you. But then your friends gotta be keep on wanting to play this game for a long time rather than just a week or two, which is my biggest fear. And as I said at the beginning of this video, these kind of co-op games, doesn't matter if it's Resident Evil or Silent Hill, it's very difficult to get that tension and that horror, that dread what you get in a proper single player horror game. I think the only tension you get here is the fear of losing, if anything else. Here we go. Now I'll take control of a zombie.
You stepped into my game and it swallowed you. It will not spit you out.
God, this mastermind really is a knobcock.
Could be worse, I guess.
I think I'll win the game from this. Yeah, he's panicking like I did in the first part of the video.
Seen faster shop mannequins.
And she gets back up. Yeah, so my overall impression so far of the beta is very meh. But be sure to let us know what you think in the comment section below. Have you played it? Are you going to pick it up? Do let us know. And if you haven't done already, please give us a like and a subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter too. And what did I get? I think I got an S. And I did. So, until next time, thanks for watching and peace out.